Nahoon Reef is definitely famous for its sharks and shark attacks. There's known to be a breeding ground for ragged-teeth shark just behind Nahoon Reef. And a lot of people who fly over Nahoon Reef or even who have dived over there say that it's so dangerous and that surfers are so crazy to go out there. And there have been quite a few shark attacks as well as deaths at Nahoon Reef. The famous one I always knew about and of was the one with Bruce Corby and Andrew Carter, who were both attacked by a 5 or 6 meter great white, and Bruce Corby died and Andrew Carter survived. Without risk, there are no rewards. So that's what everyone says. Like, I've been in the water plenty of times when guys have seen a shark, but yet they stay in the water because they're like, oh well, if it's my time today, it's my time today, but I'm just gonna surf and risk my life so that I can have a good reward of riding a perfect wave today. I never surfed Nahoon Reef until like a year and a half or 2 years after starting to surf because I was so scared of not only the wave but the sharks. So I was 15 years old and I just got back to school after a 3-week holiday of really good surf, and we finished school early that day and we were supposed to go have surf training with the school team. And it was nice and hot outside and we knew that the waves were going to be good because they had been good every single day. An hour and a half into my surf, I started paddling for this wave and I was focused on the wave. I was about to stand up, and just before I was about to stand up and ride the wave, 2 sharks came for me, the one from the left and the one from the right. And they were about 4 meters big, and the shark on the left came from underneath and knocked me into the air and bit my surfboard and hand and dragged me under the water with it. While that was happening, the shark on the right was going for my head and my shoulders. So I had no clue what was going on. I felt like I was taken from a state of reality into a dream state. And my whole world has changed within a second. I mean, the fears and the thoughts and the emotions I was going through were just indescribable. I was 15 years old. I wanted to surf, and yeah, these sharks just attacked me, and I'm about to die. So I swam to my board and grabbed my board with my left hand and dragged my right arm across to start paddling. And as I did that, I saw my fingers hanging off my hand, and blood just squirting and rushing out of my hand and fingers. And then my heart sank, and I started freaking out to the max, and realized that my dream state and my horror state was actually reality. I remember just thinking this thought and saying, just pray and see what happens. And I prayed and said, hey, Jesus, please, like, I need some help here. Please help me out. And I prayed, and all of a sudden this wave came out of nowhere and all my fear just disappeared, and this peace came upon me, and I was able to catch this wave and get out the water safely. I was convinced I wouldn't ever surf Nahoon Reef again either, but about a year later I ended up surfing it, and I was pretty happy to get back in the water. Everyone has certain fears in life which they end up facing, and mine was definitely sharks. And it's like anything in life, you have to face your fears. You have to face that thing and say, oh my word, I'm going to live with or without this thing. I'm not going to let this thing rule me, conquer me, or master me, because life is meant to be enjoyed and explored. So you're not going to allow things to rule you and manipulate you and control you. I think I'm more than a surf coach, I'm a life coach. I teach people and help people to overcome certain fears in life, whether it be waves or sharks or family situations or relationships or finances or whatever it is. I definitely know I was lucky, but there was more than that. I was definitely blessed and fortunate to be alive, and there was some kind of divine intervention by God, because there was no way I should have lived and survived that at all.